Good morning, dear students. Let us start today's class with a small prayer. Lord Jesus, we surrender all children and their supporting hands into your heart. Bless them with your love and care and help us to provide healing hands and smiling face during their journey. Lord, make me as an instrument of your love, peace, and healing. Ave Maria. Amen. Hope all of you are fine. Okay, yesterday you got the class little late. Sorry. Today I will try to send it as early as possible. Okay, now we'll see the cognitive development. In the cognitive development, the first 1 year of school age is pre-operational stage, intuitive phase. Okay, in the pre-operational stage, it is an intuitive phase. Okay, second phase of the pre-operational stage. And in the intuitive phase, baby will be learning to read. Okay, they will be learning reading, starting to read, write, and do simple arithmetic. If it is not written in your note and in your slide, you can write it off. Baby is able to read and write and do simple arithmetic during this pre-operational stage. At the end of pre-operational stage, baby is able to read, write, and do simple arithmetic. Okay, next is after 7 years, baby 7 to 12 years, baby is in a concrete operational stage. So baby is in concrete operational stage from 7 to 12 years. So during this period, the baby's imagination, thinking, and language, all these things improves, and they will be able to perform more higher level mental ability, like keeping the things in an order. Okay, that is the time where you start hobbies. Okay, so they are able to perform higher mental ability like ordering, keeping everything in order, keeping everything in series, keeping everything in classification. So that you can add, okay, under the concrete operational stage, able to perform high level of mental ability in ordering, seriation, and preparing cereal and classification. Okay, for that you can add it up. Okay, this is the period of strong imagination, and thinking improves and the language also getting improves. And by 7 years, baby is able to describe the objects in picture, and baby can identify what is the use. Okay, baby will tell, yeah, this duster is used by my teacher to rub the board. So baby will explain it. Can by 8 years, they will see the difference more than the similarities. Okay, this is the time. Okay, there are certain books to identify the difference. So that is to know whether the child is learning or getting up to the level. So by 8 years, they can identify difference than similarities. Then they will be able to say the time. By 8 years, they will be able to look at the time and tell, and they know the date, month, and time by this particular period. And a concept of time is established in school age, and the language and the social behavior also is improved. So that is regarding cognitive development. In pre-operational stage, intuitive phase, where they will be learning to read, write, and do simple arithmetic. And in a concrete operational stage from 7 to 11, or in certain books say 7 to 12, it is almost same. 7 to 11, growth in thinking, imagination, and language, and they are able to perform high level of mental ability in ordering, preparing series, and classification. And they know how to, okay, improve the concept of time. By 7, thinking, okay, they can describe the objects. 7 8 years, identify difference than similarities, say the time, and they know the date, month, and season. By 8 to 10 years, baby is able to show interest in the casual relationship. Okay, they want friendly relationship, not a formal relationship. Okay, so they want to speak. Okay, they want to share their ideas. and they are ashamed of failures. They themselves are ashamed of failures. Then they are interested in the schoolwork. Okay, any works. Okay, this is the time where the children are actually workers. So the more we help them to work and to achieve and to develop, more and more working is actually not correct. That is not alone is not sufficient, and appreciate them so that they will be able to become a good hardworking person in the future. So by 8 to 10 years, they will be able to show interest in the casual relationship, ashamed of failures, and interested in the schoolwork. 10 to 12 years, they develop abstract and deductive reasoning. Okay, so the reasoning is becoming more compact during this particular period, and they starts to identify abstract thinking, even whatever is not been seen. Interested in why and how. Okay, even they wanted to ask different questions, and they will be asking more questions regarding why and how. So they develop abstract and deductive reasoning. If all the crows of the world is black, that means the crows in Thodupuzha also is black. Deductive reason. Psychosocially, schools should develop industry. The task to be developed are industry. So as I told, for the child, world is expanding. Okay, from now parents, more than parents, now teachers have come to their world. The peer groups are there in the world, and even the parents of other children are there in the world. So their world is actually increasing, but still the parents' role is key important. So here the children are internally motivated to do many activities. That means purposeful activity according to them. For that should feel a sense of worth for themselves. For the activity which the child is selecting should be worthful for himself and for the group which he is belonging. That is important. So what happened? When he does it completely and when he maintains mastery of social interaction, that will be giving a feeling of a sense of worth, a sense of industry, and a feeling of competence. So whenever he achieves skills and performing well, okay, it is helpful to improve his activities and impress his peer group, teachers, and others. And the criticism and evaluation which is given by the peer group, that is also will assist in determining his success and competence. The child which is accepted by the peer group, teachers, and even the society in which he is living, okay, they will have the sense of power and control that will be leading a positive sense within himself. Then what will happen if the baby is failing? Sometimes the children may not develop it. Industry. How? The first one, if the baby fail in their attempt to get separate psychologically from their primary caregiver. The word you can add failure to separate psychologically. Okay, I have written it as attempt in both slide and note. You can correct it as failure to separate psychologically from their primary caregiver. That means the child is still having homesickness. Okay, they are not able to concentrate in the school activities because the child is still having the dominant thought and wanted to go back to the parents itself, which you had at the beginning of your courses. Made to feel that, the second one, in case if they made to feel that they must achieve the goals that are set too high. Okay, now even when I am telling even you, if I am telling you, you must get. Okay, now you have a consideration that I am able to get 70%. And if I am forcing you that you can get 90, 90, 90, and you will feel, whatever madam is telling, it is not possible for me to do, then why should I work? So that is when the target is set baby is feeling the set goal, set target is too high, it will demotivate the baby to perform the activity. Next is, in case if there is more emphasis is given on mastering technical skill and less effort is for the given for the social skill. So what happened, technically they will be good, okay, that the problem is there presently. Now we are giving more importance for learning teaching school activities, and we are not encouraging the baby for mingling with others, helping others, getting along with other peer groups. So we are focusing more on mastering technical skill than the social skill. Technical skill is important. Along with that, social skill also should be attained. If these three situation, what happened? Baby feels like, I know there are people who are about to get PhD but a failure in life. They don't know how to speak with the family members. They don't know how to deal a problem. Actually, it is not correct. Okay, so whenever we teach them, every aspect should go together: social aspect, psychological aspect, spiritual aspect, moral aspect, physical aspect. Everything should grow together. Only then the baby can be a healthy person. So in case the baby is not able to get separate from the parents psychologically, when they feel like their set target is too high, when the mastering technical skill is given more importance than the social skill, in this three situation, baby feels like he has some insufficiency, others are doing good, there is some problem within me, so he feel inferior to others who are developing industry. So children will develop inferiority. So developing industry is the key factor. If it is not helped, okay, if it is not encouraged, children may start developing inferiority during this particular age group. Now we will see what are the psychosocial behavior. 6 to 8 years, babies have more attention craving. They will be craving for the attention and they will insist of being first in everything. That is why getting 50 out of 50 is very happy for the situation for the baby. They wanted to be first in everything. And they have fear about their body. In case if I go, whether anything happened to my body, they have the fear during this particular period. So they are craving for the attention during 6 to 8 years, and they are insisting on being first in everything, and they have fear in injuring a body. By 8 to 10 years, they are more peer oriented. Okay, during this particular period, they give more importance for the peer groups, and they start hero worshipping. Okay, this is the period where they select a hero. Selecting the hero, previously they were getting exposed to various good personalities like Mahatma Gandhi, uh, various personalities who have proved activities and shown that they are good in certain areas. Okay, so the present problem of our generation is we are just looking at the actors and we are taking as role models. Actually, it is not correct. Help the children to identify the role models who led a good life, instead who is acting as a good life. So what happened, imagine that I am selecting Mohanlal as a good person by seeing maybe certain characters of his feature film, and afterwards slowly I like him, I love him, and I started to follow him. And when I learn him more and more and more, it is not so bad in doing all these things. Mohanlal is smoking, even I can smoke. Mohanlal is drinking, so I can drink. So this is how it will affect the generation. So always parents and even as elders, we should take care that children are selecting the heroes who are really living. Okay, it can be any players or anything, there is no problem. But basically, it is not person who is acting, and be careful, it should not be any person who is not existing. That is too dangerous. That is coming basically from the certain videos, or that means Superman, that is not existing. They are not existing. Okay, the people will children will think. So while selecting such a cartoons for the children, better not to show such a cartoon what is not existing. Okay, it is dangerous for the baby, especially at the age when they select hero worshipping. So by 8 to 10 years, they are more peer oriented and they begins hero worshipping. By 10 to 12 years, baby has more self control. He know the situation, and he know how to act. Okay, when to cry, when to laugh loudly. Clear? So they have greater self-control. And then here they start understanding the parenting. Okay, we have learned the last class. So they start respect their parents and their role. And they can control their anger by 12 years, and they will be joining formal and informal groups. Formal groups like a play team, okay, where there is a specific role, and even in school various maybe scouts, and all these things they will be joining. Then they have the fear of the dark. So by 10 to 12 years, they have a greater self-control. Self-control improves. Parents should help them to control themselves. Do not keep the people completely, okay, children completely under our order. Appreciate the action taken by the child so that they will be able to take the decision by themselves. Respect the parents and their role. Able to control the anger, they joins in the formal and informal groups, and they have the fear of dark even in this particular age group. Psychosexually, this is a quiet period. The children will be developing new interests and social abilities beyond their family, and they are seem to be more, or they are more seem to be egocentric, less egocentric. They are more generous. They become more and more generous. So it is a quiet period, and they develop new interest, and they have more social abilities beyond their family, and they are less egocentric. And during this particular period, they will be associating with the same sex, and not they have usual quarreling with the opposite sex peer groups. Okay, this is the period uh, of latency period. So the baby gets gratification or the pleasure not within the body, but it is mainly from outside the body. Then from where it gets, already I have taken in the classes, I told you, it is by the appreciation which is given by from their work. So it goes, the developing, getting pleasure is by the accomplishment of certain activities and tasks in the family and the school and among the peer group, and getting appreciation and appraisal, a good appraisal from them. That will be helping for the development of the child in a psychosexual manner. So this is a very quiet period. Okay, so they are more work oriented or achievement oriented. Okay, so this is a period. So it's a strong period, and it is a quiet period, and they have more and more interest. The peer group, the people to whom they have contact is important. In moral development, baby is in a pre-conventional morality from 4 to 7 years. You do it for me and I will do it for you. Okay, mama give me a kiss and I will do the work. I will write the letters. Okay, so that is the 2 to 4 to 7 years. The end of pre-conventional morality comes in the school age. Next is the conventional morality. Okay, 7 to 11 or 7 to 12 we can say. In this stage 3, question is, am I a good person? Am I a good person? Baby is continuously asking, am I a good person? Okay, next is a stage 4, that is from 10 to 12 years, we need law and order. We need law and order. So morally we can say that the babies, they learn the standards of acceptable behavior. Though by this time they know what is accepted by the family members, which is appreciated activity by the family members. So, according to the standards, getting up early is appreciated by all. So, the child will get up early. Okay, and they will be feeling guilty when they violate standards. And it is the responsibility of the parents to keep up the standards for everything. Okay, a time for getting up, a time for playing, a time for praying, a time for studying. So, giving timetable, okay, not a harsh timetable, but roughly a timetable to be given during this particular period. So they may not understand the reason behind it, but still they obey the parents. Older children are able to judge and act by the intention that is prompted rather than just the consequence. This person has done this mistake. Yes, it is not because of her mistake, because somebody else has done something for him. Okay, this is commonly happening in the school because they judge, act not only by the consequence, it is they will be thinking the reason for prompting this particular activity. So that is the moral development. So morally we can see that the children are in a the 6 to 7 years, they are in the period of continuing pre-conventional morality. You do it for me and I will do it for you. And afterwards they will be learning, reaching the conventional morality in stage 3, that is 7 to 9 years. He is asking, am I a good person? Okay, according to teacher, am I good? According to my parents, am I good? According to my peer group, am I a good person? Okay, here getting, yes, I am a good person. That answer is important from various persons. So it is the responsibility of the parents and even you as a nurse. Tell the children, yes, you are a good person. Everybody is good. Nobody is born as bad. Okay, nobody is born as bad. But presently our situation is so curious in attributing negative towards persons. I feel we are so easy to criticize people, and we are so bad or very poor in identifying goodness in them. So that is why even if you look at the TV, full of negatives, if you look at the newspaper, full of negatives. So we are concentrating on or at helping, or we are eager to criticize others, and we are very slow in appreciating others. So it is bad. Okay, so every children are searching, am I a good person? Yes, the society should give the question answer back. Yes, you are a good person. Okay, if the society you cannot change, but as an individual you can give that answer to the child. Yes, you are a good child. Okay, search for goodness in the baby. Every children have one or other goodness. Okay, then next is, that is why the teacher story is important. The teacher identify one good, she will be able to improve that goodness in the children and slowly reduce the negatives in the baby. That is only one way to bring up the children. Fourth one is stage 4. We need law and order. Yes, the law is important, order is important. Only through that we can live happily. That these are given for the betterment of the society. Only because of that we can have a good family, happy family. Children will start thinking in that particular sense. So that is the moral development of a scholar. It is very important. Parents' role is too important in this age. In the spiritual development, the child is in a mythical, literal faith. Mythical, literal faith. They have a very good knowledge about their religion, and they learn many specific about their religion. What is the specification about my religion? How it is different from other religion? And they will develop their own religious philosophy, and they will be fascinated by the concept of heaven and hell. And so with that concept of heaven and hell itself, they will develop the consciousness of doing good and bad. Okay, so they will do the good to go to the heaven, and they will fear to go to hell, so that they will be reducing doing bad or misbehavior, and they will expect a punishment for a misbehavior. So they can understand, yes, what I have done is wrong. So they will expect a punishment for a bad behavior. So in the spiritual behavior, the children, their belief are mainly derived from the parent, and they can identify, they know, and what is the whatever is carried out in the family, they also will be carrying out. So they have the knowledge about their religion, they develop consciousness, their religious philosophy, and they develop consciousness concerned about the rules and regarding the heaven and hell. And by fearing heaven and hell, they will regulate their own activities, and they expect punishment for the misbehavior. Even as an adult, may feel many are still in the fear of misbehavior by the God, but it is not correct. God is a loving God. Okay, if He punish for every misbehavior, what could be the situation of us? No one could be on the world. So God is a loving God. In the language development, the children, they learn the language a lot during this particular period. In the receptive language, they are responding to praises and recognition. Okay, they are happy with the praises and the recognition. So we must be liberal in praising and recognizing the children. So follow suggestions better than commands. It will be better if you do this. Okay, so our language should be in such a manner so that the children will be obeying us than commanding. The next is the expressive language. Okay, this is mainly happening at respond to praise at 6 to 8 years, and follow suggestions by 8 to 12 years. So respect their identity and explain in their own sense so that they will feel like to do things and obey us. So the next is expressive language. They can formulate the sentence by 6 to 8 years. Almost 10 to 12 words they can utilize while forming their sentences. And they has vocabulary of 2,500 words by 6 to 8 years. And so sentence is increasing, and the knowledge of number of words also is increasing. By 8 to 10 years, they will be able to use shorter sentences. But this sentence must be full of meaning. Compact, shorter sentences they will be able to prepare by 8 to 10 years. By 10 to 12 years, their oral vocabulary increases up to 7,200 words. That means they are reaching to school, and every languages they are starting learning different languages. The vocabulary is increasing fast. Okay, right? 10 to 12 years. And reading vocabulary around 50,000 words they know by 10 to 12 years. And they will be able to give precise meaning, dictionary definition or meaning of a words. And counting numbers beyond, okay, even 1,100 they will be able to do it. 1,100 is given in the books. Even beyond 1,000 our children are able to do it, and use parts of speech correctly. Okay, noun, pronoun, okay, parts of the speech they will be able to use. That means sentence construction can be correct by 10 to 12 years. So by 10 to 12 years they have the vocabulary of 7,200 words and 5,000 reading vocabulary, and they are able to give precise dictionary definition of the words, and they uses numbers even beyond 100, and they use parts of speech correctly. Play, as we have learned earlier, the children will enjoy cooperative play or coordinated play. Okay, so they're playing together, which is well coordinated, like that means games. Okay, there is a rule, and they are able to follow the instructions, and they are able to keep up their own level stance. So they are able to follow cooperative play and competitive play and games. Okay, various chess, then maybe cricket, football, basketball, different play they will be able to take up during this particular age group. So play, they are enjoying games and the competitive play and cooperative play during this particular age. And toys must be selected according to the interest and availability, as we have learned in the class of play. Now we'll see what is the need of a school child. Okay, love and security. Love from parents, teachers. The basic parents' love is the basic. Okay, even if the teachers and the peer group neglects, if they feel like my parents are there for me, yes, he will be a strong person in future. Encourage child creativity. Your child is not only your own thoughts and words, they have got their own talents. So encourage, uh, look from their own perspective, understand their own ideas, and encourage, enjoy their creativity. Encourage play and recreational activities. Encourage. Let them play. Play is the work of a baby. Study is important. Equally importance we must give to the play and mingling with the parents, children, and even other peer groups. All these things are too important for the personality development. Teach children about socially accepted behavior and why your jealousy is what happen if you show jealousy. This is not correct, and it will how it is going to affect you in future. Explain it clearly so they will be able to slowly reduce it. What will happen if you are getting angry very fast? How can you reduce it? What is the consequence of it? How can you channelize it? So teach them. Clear? Then next is regular health checkup must be given. For the this is a tooth eruption age, so they are in need of dental checkup, and the immunizations are coming in between booster doses, and even if there are any problem, that has to be noted down. Then set limit on child's behavior. Yes, parents should know where to set limit. Certain problems we can see, that is the problems or hazards. Accidents, you will be learning it as separate. Okay, that's why I'm not mentioning here. Hazards, dishonest behavior and telling lies and cheating and stealing. Okay, certain dishonest. Okay, this is a period where start telling small lies, small misbehavior which is seen by other friends or encouraged by others. So from the beginning we should remove it. Next, fear of darkness, and they may have the fear of teachers, and they may have even the fear of failing. Okay, children should not develop the fear. Instead, they must. Okay, you must, as a parents and as a healthcare professional, you must help them to overcome the fear. Okay, when there is fear, just put on the light and tell them there is nothing. Even if it is a dark, everything is same as it is, how it is in the light. There is nothing happens. So need not fear the dark. Teachers are always helpful. Should not talk negative regarding the teachers and tell the children that they are good. No, you should create the atmosphere at the family itself. Teachers are good, priests are good, all are good. Okay, nuns are good. Then failing. Okay, failure is not the end of life, that is the beginning step of life. Okay, for the next part is starting with the failure. So help them to overcome these fears. Eating more junk foods are common during this particular period, and that should be avoided. Encourage eating from home. Okay, that is why presently children, disease of the children are reduced. Pediatricians are really taking rest now during the corona because the children started to eat from home. Next is the sleep problems. Okay, bedtime resistance, somnambulism. That somnambulism and the sleep talking is mainly due to stress. Okay, and the post-traumatic night. Okay, if it is present continuously, if it is there, we can take care. Otherwise, once in a while, just pick the baby and make sure that he is relieved of the stress and be careful about it. Certain behaviors, dishonest behaviors, fear of dark, intake of junk food, and some sleep problems. Take care from the beginning. We completed learning Schooler. If there is any doubt, please let me know, and study well. It is an important age group which is important for the growth and development, both theory and the practical. Okay, thank you.